Is there any SS7 attacks involved in this? Is there any SS7 attack involved in this? SS7 attack involved in this. So this is not specific to any specific targeted attack because this is not about vulnerability, but this is about data mishandling. The situation is if the design was made to safeguard something, then we can say it had been exploited. Just imagine if there is no door at all, anyone can enter, and there is no point of having a door lock present over there. It is that kind of situation. The data is open for everyone. Main PII, anything related to vehicles, and because of which attack surface is so huge in absence of proper design to protect the data. So one more example is if you want to have a virtual RC, all they ask is just last 5 digits of the vehicle engine chasing number. That's it. Anyone's vehicle RC will be able to download. You might be familiar with this particular application, again not having it. As you can see the screen, but I just entered the vehicle number, whoever it can be, the last 5 digits, and my own mobile number. I was able to get that particular virtual RC which I am not given a call. Now, for driving license, if you want to harvest anyone's signature, their name, address, phone number, and the vehicle endorsement details, photograph, anything like that, all you need is someone's driving license number. They have the API design in such a way you can very easily brute force. Beyond that, there is no other parameters of it. It also allows you to update someone's mobile number, even if the mobile number does not come to the same driving license number. Now, if you see over here, the drive details, whichever data comes out of, we would never be able to modify anything. Can we change our date of birth? No, never. Can we change our identity? No, never. Can you change your mobile number? Maybe, but not that easy. So we are into irreversible state. Data is already repeating, and it's continuously repeating, and we are out of using it. Now, HSRP, High Security Registration. You might have seen across our roads the cars with this kind of number plates. The purpose with it came was to bring standardization to protect against counterfeiting and electronically linking the data records of the vehicles versus the license. It provided security features of snap locks to make it tamper resistant, laser number etching on the number plates to map the electronic records with the license plate on the vehicles, and to standardize the format. These were the key security features it was promising earlier. Now, if we look into the frequently asked questions of the process, they have clearly documented that do you need any kind of documentation to register or to book a HSRP? Simply they say no documents required at all. You just need someone's vehicle, engine number, chassis number, that's it, and you can have a HSRP book for any vehicle on the country. So when they ask for mobile number, someone may think they would be using to authenticate the user receiving the OTP, but that is not the case. It's only to provide you the update to take your appointment or maybe some invoicing if they want to share that. And is the vehicle owner required while meeting the HSRP? Definitely not required. Anyone can go. You can imagine if someone has ordered a free HSRP, anyone can walk in, anyone would be able to have the HSRP on some other vehicle which is actually not the legitimate one. And earlier when you saw virtual RC also we were able to download for anyone. So if you go to the payment location, they would not even question you because you now have a virtual RC and a fake HSRP does not belong to you. Now, if you go for any immovable assets in India, say our bank accounts or anything, there also they ask for KYC, whereas vehicles which are more prone to counterfeiting, which are more prone to theft, which are more prone to number of tampering, there also they do not ask for KYC details. Vehicle, as I showed earlier, vehicle mobile number, there is no association with the vehicle owner. So again, needs the right the Excel sign data number, whatever you provide. There are no standard portals for ordering HSRP, and because of which some portals lack authentication authorization. Very simple kind of security implementation. You can brute force, you can reschedule appointments, anything without any form of authentication. Now, there were so many vulnerabilities across these portals which were supposed to offer HSRP. So, as you saw earlier, the incident is resolved can be very easy. You just can have that order HSRP on anyone's behalf. Again, OTP does not come to open. Brute force, no captcha, so many things like that you can do. Ideal possible. So just by incrementing the values, you would be able to determine what are the other HSRP orders. Every associated data with that, just by implementing in sequential order, you will be able to download things. And things like that. Just an example over here. All you need is just enter someone's vehicle who has ordered the HSRP details. You will be having the invoice which contains the name, address, chassis number, registration number, the mobile number, everything. So this is the example of how we can brute force enumerate which are the HSRP ordered. Again, in sequential order, if you see I have implemented from 01, 02, 03, 04 like that, all the invoices can be harvested containing every other sensitive information. One of the very easy thing for people who wanted to do phishing, social engineering, they are not using some of the standard well-known TLDs, popular domain. Because of which any .com, .in, any one domain were used, people were using this for phishing. Now, to convince someone with all your sensitive information on a particular non-standard domain becomes much more easy. And because of this, people were tricked so much that the authorities had to mass broadcast on their channels that these are the only legitimate HSRP booking portals. Because of which they got to know people are misusing for social engineering, maybe for phishing, so many campaigns like that. Now we talked about digital security. Let's focus on the physical security of HSRP as well. It came with the promise that it can be tamper-proof. Now, in this example, you can see someone has attached a number plate overlapping on the existing one, and this is the result. So, HSRP can be easily covered. One more example, you have a casing on top of HSRP, you can now overlap something. So, whenever you want to do something, you have a overlapping here, and very easily you can have it. And this is going to happen very soon. So earlier that they are promising that we have secure events. So as to avoid people tampering with their number plates, replacing their number plates, forging them. Now we can see these are the excludes or the codes. It is possible to replace one number plates very easily. One more example of that. And even you can use the zip ties. With that, you can tie your HSRP. The design of vehicle itself, now you cannot see the vehicle serial number in this case. So it's not properly well designed how the plate should look, how the plate should show up in public. Now, with emerging technology, the traffic departments across the country, across various cities, started having e-challan portals. What they would do is they would identify people who are violating any of the traffic rules. They will have a photo taken from their CCTV deployed across the junctions, and then they will map to the vehicle number and they charge whatever violations have been conducted. This was initially a good move, They were also asking for public, whenever they spot any kind of violations, to take a photo, upload either on Twitter or to their public applications, and they were raising on the traffic violations with the input from the user. Now, across all these cities, individually they started their regional portals, but not a centralized portal, regional portals. This made so many non-standard things introduced. Unfortunately, now it took a U-turn from controlling traffic violations, it started increasing more and more. Party fear and it's a gossip here. This kind of number rate started increasing more and more. One of the most difficult thing in technical aspect, inaccuracy of OCR, optical character recognition, and AL. You can see HO, HQ, HG, these kind of setups, the internet models were highly misconstrued. They were not able to identify whether it's O, Q, or figure representative. And because of which false violations started raising for multiple people. In fact, you would be very surprised to see people who were driving cars, they were also fined for not wearing helmets. Now the dark side, unfortunately, it's now becoming punishment for the innocent who are obeying the traffic laws very well, and it's becoming very smooth, very seamless for people who actually conduct violations. People are getting violations which they have not done, and COVID-19 became the catalyst. So what actually happened is people were at their home not using their vehicles because in COVID-19 hardly people were commuting for their essentials. Despite that, violations were tagged in the ring. People started understanding it's not me, someone else who is conducting this, but still I am being getting charged. The situation came up like this where people started complaining that yes, someone else photo has been kept over there. It's not my vehicle, it's someone else who is misusing my number plate. One more example of same thing. People started identifying on the spot, on the ground, where people, you can see these two number plates, they look exactly same. People are using duplicate number plates. Now people were expecting HSRP to come and resolve it, but definitely that did not happen. In fact, when they started spot inspections, on regular basis they used to find so many violations, so many people acquiring the number plates. And a very logical, a mathematical calculation will help you understand why people do that. If you see the last line number 13, if it's a defective registration plate or not using a number plate on your vehicle, the fine is of 500 rupees. If you do any other serious crimes, the fine is 1,000, 5,000, maybe whatever. So if I want to do something which is unlawful, what I will do is I simply remove the number plate. I will save not getting caught, or I will save my higher value of charge. And very smoothly we started seeing that people who were doing road rages, so many other unlawful things, were removing their number plates, and police cannot catch them. Police started having some of their on the ground identification where they very frequently started seeing people are now tampering their number plates. Mask, I also saw the first time, not for your defense, but for your vehicle also you can use it. There are so many innocent or maybe deliberate techniques people now have started using to hide their number plates. You can see there will be so many examples of that, and this also can be worked. There are some of these spiritual sacramental methods also through which the number plate have been covered. These are many of the examples of that. Now there you might see evolving so many techniques people deliberately would start doing. One of them is this very common. You start going anywhere on the roads, you will see this live at this moment. Many of the vehicles now they are starting doing this. Tensile strength of steel versus tensile strength of aluminum. This is the result of that. Earlier number plates were in steel, now it is aluminum. You can hold it very easily. So when you have to raise a violation, you also have to map who did it. For that, someone's driving license also is needed. Now they do not have any kind of mapping between driving license and form of authentication. So they have opened the portals wide open. Anyone's driving license number, if you keep it for your conducted violation, it will be raised and tagged to the person's name. It actually has not done a violation. Imagine you would have gone to any of your hotels to buy a SIM card or so many things where you have given your driving license. Your driving license, someone can misuse that violation in your name, you would not even get to know. And one of the awesome service where the reason holder itself, after the violation has been raised, would display an invoice with the driving license number. So, if someone else has raised driving license, has paid for their challans, you can copy their driving license number. If it's now in your name, you can use that in spite of your driving license number, that person's driving license number. One more example of another code like that. The promise came one nation, one challan portal, but unfortunately, regional portals are not same with the national portals. Because of which, if you look into the nationwide applications, you would not see the challan appearing over there. There will be regional portals, it will only show over there, but not in the national portal. Imagine for the second hand or the resale car market, if you go and look for a car which is not having any violations, if you are looking for that, you may end up getting a challan which was registered in that name, but it's not showing on the national portal. And it's not feasible for us to go and check in every state, every district, every city's portal that any violations were there or not. And the worst thing about here is whenever the transport office converts the ownership of the vehicle, they may or may not warn you that there were free challans associated with the number. The vehicle ownership can transfer with you along with the vehicles existing unpaid challans to be carried forward to the next month. One of the smartest, one of the easiest possible example, whenever the traffic challan portals were leaking the number, figure the details, people started using this to scam very easily. They were pretending like a traffic police. They start asking you that these are the unpaid violations. Please pay, else your challan will be now transferred to the courts. You will be scared. You might end up paying there to an unauthorized person. Now with debit card, credit card, we can break it, we can hotcast it. But with the leak data of your vehicle, we cannot alter vehicles. Even small kids nowadays now have understood how to tamper around their number plates. Imagine what if some strategic crime happens. We are clueless how to overcome that. Now some of the suggestions when our law says that innocent persons should not be penalized, even if there are chances that someone miss out from the radar of the law. So, making use of that, we should focus on spot fines rather than online digital fines, where you can verify the actual authenticity of the legitimate parameters which have to be verified. And we should stop violating from any unknown, untrusted sources. In the age of generative AI, we can make images so seamless, you would not be able to identify it's a mock image, it's a real image. Someone has tampered and asked to raise the violation. So I'm almost done. Now, one more suggestion. Make use of the CCTV cameras. There are so many problems across the country. We have waterlogging problems, we have problems of traffic congestion, we have road rage problems, signboards, mishandling signals, so many things. The CCTV cameras should focus on this. We would be much more efficient. The government would be much more safe. The body-worn cameras nowadays are getting more and more popular. But the problem is, it will be there, but in a non-object, there is no point of value. It becomes false positive. And there is both expectation. So there should be a situation mandatorily the body on camera should be with brightness and all. Otherwise, we know the indirect access what these people have with. Same way, the touring of vehicle we should be having mandatory photo taken. Only after that, the violations can be raised. We should be making use of proper roadways access control. We should be having proper understanding on untrusted user data and not just accepting any user data. We should not support self-endorsement. Assuming vehicle number as public, not disclosing any of the details just by having the vehicle number. We should be using standard TIDs, not just anything happen like that. And with this, I would like to thank you all of you. I wish you all safe commute. We expect that in upcoming times things might evolve. For that to happen on a very fast pace, all of us together have to raise our voices. Otherwise, we might see very soon cases like Pune Ball case, Mumbai case. All of these things would now happen very soon and would be clueless how to safeguard. So, thank you everyone.